Yo, what's cracking, La Ventanita C.F? It is me, Bernie, aka Wario. Joining me today, as always, is Akeem Calypso. What's going on, my dude?
What's going on? I'm still recovering from COVID, but it's okay, man. You can't keep me down. I'm here. I'm always here. You can't get rid of me.
Yeah, yeah, keep fighting, bro. Yeah, you'll feel better. I told you just earlier, you'll feel better in a few months. It lingers for a little bit, but there's brighter days ahead for sure.
Of course.
And uh, and I'm still recovering from the hangover, which is the World Baseball Classic. So I'll get right to it. I am not informed about Inter at all. The last week, probably week and a, or half a week. I don't know how long it's been. Time hasn't existed for me ever since after we lost to Toronto because we'll talk about the watch party in a little bit. But Akeem, Akeem left right after the game, and the rest of us stayed behind to watch Venezuela USA, which was a game I didn't really believe my USA compatriots could pull off. Right, Venezuela's a strong team. They beat off Puerto
Yeah.
Rico, Dominican Republic. They went undefeated in a really tough division, and Venezuela's got some stars on there: Miguel Cabrera, Jose Altuve, a bunch of guys that really gave a lot. And I thought they had a really good chance, but the U.S. had a miraculous grand slam in that game where I went shirtless in the middle of Revo. You remember how uneventful the watch party was due to Toronto or whatever, to the game being uneventful. But I
Yeah.
took off my shirt, and a certain friend of mine poured beer down my behind. It was actually a very weird
Oh
experience.
God.
Very weird experience. Thankfully, I had a sorry for making you laugh and cough there, but
It's
it
all
was a
good.
weird fun experience. I went to the bathroom to dry off a little bit afterwards, but
Hey,
it
weird things
felt good in
happen
the
in games.
moment. Baseball, hey man, it brings the best out of us. And I talked about it with the battered herons last week. I know you talked to Solana. We're gonna talk about that too. But we talked a little baseball over there. Baseball, this is not a baseball podcast, but the World Baseball Classic, it felt what some of the best parts of soccer is, which is bringing us together. Whether you're Venezuelan, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Japanese, Cuban, from wherever you are. A lot of teams participated. Colombia, and they all did great. And the USA went on a great run. It felt really good to watch them play against Cuba. That was the first time it ever happened. I was there that day,
Oh, really? The
which
first time ever?
ever in the World Baseball Classic that Cuba and USA ever played.
Didn't
And
know that.
Cuba was the runner-up in the first one ever in 2006. They were a power in the first two. They were a really good team, but political reasons have made that team a shell of what it should be.
I see.
Um, there's a little bit too much government control that the Major League Baseball is allowing due to political affairs, and a lot of people would like to see the dynamics of that change. So actual Cuban, because I don't know if you know this or not, Akeem, certain Cuban players aren't allowed to play if they ever spoke ill in the government. Think about that
Yeah.
for a second. Think about a
Yeah.
USA player that's ever spoken ill in the government never being allowed to play, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of other things like that. Or if they defected, they weren't allowed to play. They had to have left the country in like a legal manner or
Isn't that
whatever.
what happened to Ariel Zarino? Is that how you pronounce his name?
He went to play for Mexico,
Yeah, that
and
was why he
you
played
know
for
what's
Mexico. Yeah.
what's funny about that? That more props to him because that was the country that took him in. That was the country that took him in and let him become a citizen over there and escape the communist Cuba. So he's ever and his daughter was born there too. So he's ever eternally grateful for them. I believe he plays in the MLB somewhere now, but
Yeah, I was
um,
because I don't normally watch baseball, but I want to say keeping up with the World Baseball Classic, but I watched every night. I watched the highlights, and it was really good. It was fantastic because
yeah,
normally
he stole the show. He stole the show. He robbed
yes,
the home run in
I
the in
saw that.
against
Yeah.
Japan. That Japan game was close because of him. He's one of these guys. You don't see it a lot in baseball. The guys that can single handedly make a difference. But he made that
He
for
was, yeah,
Mexico.
he was clutch. I was watching
He
all the highlights, and he was clutch.
he was cool and his story was cool, right? Because he's not originally Mexican, but that was a country that allowed him, that gave him the stepping stone. A place to go, a safe haven to go, which I think one of the most important things of this is the light that can be shed through something like this, and people could understand what's really going on in Cuba because a lot of people don't have a full understanding, but it's things like this that make you aware of why us Cuban Americans are so passionate for the USA and so grateful, and why Rosarena was grateful for Mexico. I'm grateful for this country eternally, and I'll always support USA sports. So it's funny you were asking about USA Cuba. I told you how Caesar was divided between Venezuela, which it's a little different, right?
Yeah.
And you were like, "Oh, I bet you at the USA Cuba game," and we're like, "No, man, we're full USA." And a lot of people were, including Ashi's grandparents. A lot of us were full USA, man. It's different because a lot of political prisoners in Cuba. My uncle was a political prisoner, wrongfully imprisoned just for ideologies. It goes really deep. So it's full USA over here, and the score was really worth it. It really shows that there's something going on over there, and they got to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
But most importantly, the final. What a moment, bro! That was. I was comparing it to '97 Game 7, where I didn't understand the perspective as a 5-year-old. I was there when
Mm-hmm.
the Marlins won in extra innings. Edgar Renteria batting in Craig Counsell. Actually Barranquillero, bro, Colombian. Really cool guy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Afro-Colombian. Edgar Renteria, look him up, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh well.
cool guy, bro. And he's a Marlin, and he's forever a champion here. He made us champions. But like I was telling you, at 5 years old, you don't conceptualize it. But
Yeah,
at the World Baseball Classic, being at the final against Japan, watching Otani versus Trout, it
that
was
was crazy. And that,
legendary. It was legendary. Everybody was on their feet. I'm yet,
everybody.
Inter Miami, we've had big moments. Soccer has moments where everybody gets on their feet, whatever, after a goal. But a moment where everybody's on their feet, like anticipating something,
Yeah, ready.
that's
Yeah.
gonna happen soon. Like, remember LAFC in the final? It might happen. It'll happen in Miami Freedom Park. Maybe, hopefully, it happens in Drive Pink. But yeah, I'm eternally grateful. So I'm a little misinformed this episode. Calypso's gonna walk me through, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But let's start off with Toronto. Let's start off with our reaction. What did you see from Toronto against Inter Miami?
Oh
What
boy.
made Toronto the better team
What did I see?
that night?
I didn't see much. I'm not gonna lie to you. From what I remember, because I kind of just put the game out of my memory because it was such a poor performance. It's kind of why I'm wearing this jersey, the 2020 jersey, because we played like we were back in 2020. I was having
I get it now.
I was
I
having
get it now.
flashbacks.
That's clever, dude. That's clever.
I was having flashbacks and fucking PTSD about how we play. It really showed how bad we missed a player like Gregory. How much he was, and I said this in our last episode that you were unfortunately allowed to make, which is fine. I said it when I talked about this. Like he was our engine. He was our glue that kept us together, and we need a play like that. Especially the style that Neville wants to play, this high pressure, high pressing style. We need workhorses that can, excuse me, run back and forth and play both ends of the field, and we didn't have that. Unfortunately, Bryce Duke, as much as I wanted him to, he didn't have a great performance, and I'm fully willing to say that he did not play well. As much as I love Bryce Duke, he did not play well. What's his name? Martinez, again, toothless, non-existent. You would almost say. I'm starting to lose my patience with him, to be honest with you. 'Cause I'm expecting so much from him.
Points here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
all of
expecting
us.
so much from him, and he's still playing like he's scared of the ball. I'm expecting him to be able to. He's known for this aggression, this passion. He should be trying to take over the game and trying to punch the game in the mouth and go at people. But I don't feel like he's doing that. He's kind of almost playing like Higuain played before he got good. Up top, with less complaining, of course. He doesn't really complain, but up top, just waiting for the ball and just expecting. No, you have to. Especially the way that Neville has us playing, you have to go after the ball. You have to be tenacious. You have to be constantly going. And I don't see us doing that. And we were all discombobulated. We were all out of sorts. Even the goals that we conceded, again, off set pieces. We poor off set pieces again, as usual. So I didn't really see anything good. Drake had some good saves, but that's kind of to be expected because Drake is such a good goalkeeper who should. I say if he doesn't, he should be getting call ups to the USA next year after the season, 100%.
Yeah. Maybe even during the season, maybe from one of the camps. Um, I I agree with you. I didn't even watch the highlights of this game. I might
I
tomorrow.
planned on going back and watching the game. I just ended up not watching it.
I don't plan on watching this whole game. I'll watch the highlights and maybe that's about it. Maybe if I have time on my hands, but I don't because I'm doing a bunch of spring cleaning in here. Maybe I can rewatch the game.
Even in the review
I'll probably
show,
put it on the background.
even in the review show, they barely showed anything.
I mean, what is there to show? The two goals and that's it. The rest of the game, I didn't even know the second goal went in. I was like walking around the watch party and stuff. I had no idea. I barely saw anything in this game. It was a hard game to watch. It was just
It was
like you
for
said,
both teams,
we're
not even
missing,
just us. Both teams just weren't that good.
yeah, we're missing Gregory, man. It's tough adapting without him.
But
I,
it
don't- I
sucks
think
that
anybody.
that one player just destroys our team.
That's why he has the captain's armband, right? It's almost like he's the MVP of the team. He's the one that holds it all together, and everybody on the team knows that. Now, when is it somebody going to pick it up? Because it's not going to be one person picking it up. It has to be everybody picking it up. Everybody has to collectively play together. I know we depend on that one player to cover so much ground, but it's like, dude, everybody's got to cover ground. It's soccer. It's a team sport. You know, he's manning up the midfield, and when he's down, we get exposed. So you know, it's put up or shut up time. He's gone. There's no more Gregory. There's no more. There's really no replacing him for the near future because they're probably going to wait until the what is it, July transfer window or whatever. So
There's just a
the
summer
team you have
transfer window.
the team you have right now is what you got, and it didn't look good against Toronto. I do have faith in them bouncing back. Joseph, I am losing patience, but I'm gonna look at it like he's overdue, and I think it's put up or shut up time. I am gonna lose patience with him if he can't do it at home against Chicago, which you mentioned had some injuries, so I'm interested to hear about that. But I do have faith in Joseph could do it. Hopefully against Chicago this weekend, we'll see it happen. And if it doesn't happen, you know, maybe Phil Neville. You mentioned Higuain earlier. Maybe you'll have to bench him. I'm not opposed to it. I think so. I don't. I'm not caught up with Inter news per se, but I remember Lucho texted me earlier today, and he said, "Who would you want to start up at striker?" He asked me Coco, Stefanelli, or Lassiter. Who did you think I go with?
Give me those three
Let's
names
see if
again.
Coco John, Stefanelli, or Lassiter. And I think he's asking
Probably,
me this.
probably
By the
Lassiter.
way, that's who I would choose. You think?
That's who I would choose.
Who do you think I would choose?
Probably Coco.
I did. I did choose Coco. You know me so well. I love it.
Mm.
You'd go with Lassiter up there, really?
At the moment, yeah. Only because he's
He's
a bit
not
more
the.
proven, but that's about it. It's not like a,
Uh,
it's not
what
like
is
a definite thing.
Coco played in Ligue 1.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's
Coco,
no. I'm not saying Coco's bad. I'm just saying because has Coco even really played in that position?
he's been, he's got a goal this season and he's playing really well.
No,
He's
I'm
playing a
saying playing in
striker,
that position though.
but a striker, yeah, he's a striker.
Oh, okay. That,
He's
that,
the only pure striker. He's the only pure striker there because Stefanelli's more of like a false nine, kind of 10. I don't know,
okay, because they don't really play him like
kind
that.
of a
So
striker. So whatever. But I figure that the reason I think he asked that question was because I think people are already thinking about moving past Martinez at the moment, which there's depth at the position. So
yeah, but we're not really using it because
we're not. We're giving Joseph every chance he has, right?
yeah,
And I think Chicago's not his last chance, but I think if it continues, I think Phil will bench him
yeah, no,
for the
not
sixth week.
this game is definitely put up or shut up for him. At
Yeah,
least it should
most
be.
if he's healthy, it should be too. If he's healthy, I want
But
him
Phil keeps
because
talking about how he's not fit yet. But like, how long does it take for him to get fucking fit?
he's coming off of major knee surgery, dude. You know,
I guess.
they're having a lot. I'll tell you what, they'll have a longer leash with him than they did with Ewing.
I don't
And
think
with
they
Ewing,
should.
it was like the fifth or sixth game.
I don't think they should. I think they should treat them both the same. They're both about. Should,
Ewing didn't come off a major knee surgery.
true, but I think they're both at that similar level. Like they have to. If they don't produce, then we're we're in the mud. They have both both Higuain and Martinez for us to do anything in the playoffs. They have to produce.
We
So,
need him.
so
We need him
that's
badly.
what
I'll
that's the way. I'm not thinking like they're like one for one on the same level, but these are the guys that have to produce for us to do anything this season. Like
agree with you.
people like Coco John, people like Taylor, people like even La Cava, they're gonna score goals every once in a while, but Martinez needs to be the leading scorer. Has to be.
Speaking of Lakava, I saw him, McVay, um, Noah Allen, and I think Benjamin Kramashi at the World Baseball Classic. They were there
Nice.
with Jazz Chisholm, a bunch of Marlins players, Heat players, Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Wade were
I saw
there.
that photo. Yeah.
Yeah, Ludonis was there. A bunch of people were there. Dolphins players were there. That was a really cool moment. As a kid, I always used to imagine when I would go to Pro Player Stadium and I knew the Marlins and the Dolphins played there. In my head, I'd imagine like them interacting and like doing stuff with each other,
Hmm.
which as an adult I realized was like more and more far from the truth.
Yeah.
They're all living like their own damn lives and they don't really
It's
give
not like
a
they all
shit.
go to the same high school.
Yeah, and they run into each other at a club or something,
Yeah.
whatever. It's like, yo, what's up? But it's not like I used to picture them like, playing video games together and shit or whatever, like playing catch together. And like, no, no, not
Depending on who
really.
it is, though.
But hey, but seeing them at the World Baseball Classic final at Miami together while I'm there with like my family and friends, it was a really cool moment. Honestly, that was a night to remember. And to finish that off, um, then while I was in the middle of all of that, you had the conversation with Solana, so I want to hear how that went.
Funnily enough, I'm literally tweeting him right now as you're saying this. Um,
I
it
told you it's an obsession between the two of you, bro.
you, I just like drama and conflict. That's all it is. And I told him this to his face. Like I told him straight up, like the reason why I give you such a hard time is because I like the drama and it's funny and it's Twitter, so why not? And he talks a lot of shit. But it actually went. Go ahead.
I refer to him as a maniac, but honestly, you're there too. You're not
Uh,
on his level because you're a little bit more reasonable, I would
yeah,
say. But you're maniacal in your own ways, and I am too. So,
yeah,
shout out to the maniacs.
exactly. Which it used to be my gamer tag. But anyways, yeah. The
Oh
conversation
damn,
the conversation was actually pretty civil. Like we weren't like yelling at each other or like going crazy. We had just like a regular talk. Most
that's surprising.
but that
Okay.
mostly because we pretty much walked back everything. So like there was no reason for us to like go at each other because he kind of just walked it back. So I was like, oh okay, cool. So that's what you really think about it. Like for example, the whole like only Ukrainians thing. Because keep in mind that wasn't him who said that. That was one of his
Yeah, it was
guests.
someone on the show.
And he was like, "Oh," and he basically like, "Oh, maybe you misunderstood." I'm like, "No, that's what he said. Like, he said no Ukrainians, no Europeans," and he was like, "Yeah, well, I don't agree with that." Da, da. So, like I said, he kind of walked it back. He said he was completely wrong about Christoph. He said he was wrong about him. I was like, oh, okay, so like, what is there to push on that? He said he was wrong. Okay, cool. And I told him like, yeah, and I told him straight up, I'm like, the reason why I like give you such a hard time because it's funny and you're kind of sensational. So, and that's what I do too because it's Twitter and we're all out here making content. That's the main reason why I hassled him so much. I did it for the content, and I have no problem admitting that. Like, that's what social media is. That's why we have a podcast. It's to get our thoughts and our voice out there. So if he's saying shit and I disagree with him, we both have podcasts. So why not jump on and just talk it out? That's one of the reasons why, like, and another thing is he said so much like he loves debate, he loves discussion, he loves to like chat it out. So like, okay, you love discussion, you love to talk, let's chat it out, let's chop it up. And he kept, oh, I don't know who you are, and blah blah blah. So I just kept hassling him about it, and eventually I got what I wanted, and we talked about it. He was very amicable, he was very chill, and I mean, I got what I wanted. I got content out of it, and that's what I wanted. So
Yeah, and honestly, it's content I look forward to listening to too. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and listen to that one tomorrow while I'm doing some stuff around the house, and I'm looking forward to it, bro. I'm looking forward to hearing you Shrek him up a little bit, but yeah, and I'm honestly looking forward to hearing his point of view on stuff
yeah.
and hearing his honest thing. I gotta listen to his podcast more and a lot more.
He also
I
said
don't have time.
he wanted to talk to you as well. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll have him on together, or I'll go on his show or something. We'll figure it out. But yeah, man, that sounds like it was a good time, dude.
it was pretty nice.
So the next point you got to follow me up on now is around the MLS. Let's
Yes.
go ahead right ahead.
Yeah, we
So
did
we're
stuff a
actually
little
gonna
bit
have my
different.
live reaction. We're doing a little different. We're gonna try to flow around and see what works here. But I honestly was looking forward to um to looking at these live.
Okay.
So
Let me
Keem's gonna
just
walk me
send out
through
this
them.
tweet to him. And, all right, cool. All right, so let's start with the Eastern Standard. Like you said, you haven't really been paying attention to the league as much because you've been busy with baseball. So let's go through this real quick. So we got the Eastern standings. We got Atlanta still at the top with 10
Okay,
points. Then we have
cool.
and then in order we got New England, Cincinnati, Nashville, and then New York City FC at fifth. Then we have Philadelphia at sixth. We're still hanging out in there in seventh. Um, then Toronto, after their first win, is up to eighth. Orlando lost to Charlotte, giving them their first win, so that brings them down to ninth. Red Bull New York is in fifth. DC United is in fourth. They have 4 points. They're in 11th. So does Columbus have 4 points. They're in 12th place. CF Montreal got their first win, so they're in 13th. like I mentioned before, Charlotte got another win or got their first win, so they're in 14th. And Chicago, our next opponents, are actually in last place right now with only 2
Oh wow, I
points.
didn't know that. I
Yep.
didn't know that. Holy crap! So we play Chicago and they're
They
dead last.
have they have
They're gonna
one
come out.
loss and 2 ties.
They have a game in hand, though. I think.
They have a game in hand,
Actually,
and I'll just mention this real quick. Jairo Torres, Federico Navarro, and Shaqiri all injured right now, and they're all out.
it's gonna be tough for them, but they're gonna come out. They're gonna come out trying to prove a point. So
Mm-hmm.
that's always dangerous as well.
Trap game.
We have to come. We have to come out and prove a point too.
Trap
They
game.
can't let this be a trap game. Chicago's always a trap game for us.
Yeah.
So it's something we got to figure out. Orlando below us, beautiful. Come on,
Where they
Chef's
belong.
kiss. Toronto up to fucking 8th because of our narrow-headed asses.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. Philly having 6 points like us
Mm-hmm.
is crazy too, but
They have the same record, I
it's
believe. Yeah, 2-2.
it's a long season that gives me hope, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we can try to figure things out. We're not Philly.
We
We
are not.
lost Gallego there too. We gotta figure out shit internally. Drake Calendar's gotta give everybody some incense, and everybody's gotta chill out and figure shit out.
As
Because
far as the
I,
record with Philly, they have the same record we do: 2 home wins, 2 away losses.
yeah, it seems to be the trend right now. Nashville up to 4th,
Mm-hmm.
and New York in 5th. New York in 5th because we gave them a fucking W.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher McVeigh, thank you very much.
2-1 and
I
1.
actually got uh, fucking nightmares over that stupid ass goal. But whatever. Eastern Conference. Being in 7th doesn't concern me too much. I think at this point we could,
Nah.
with a win, we could jump as far as like 2nd.
Depending on how the results go,
Yeah,
maybe, yeah.
has
I'd say
shit,
maybe
yeah.
third.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on how shit goes. But just looking at New England with 9, right, and thinking
Mm-hmm.
if they lose or something, I don't know. Everybody else loses.
Mm-hmm.
Shit could happen. Depends on the matchups, obviously. But
Yeah.
onto the Western Conference now, where holy moly,
St. Louis City.
they haven't
They
lost.
have not
No,
lost.
they
They are
haven't.
4-0. This is
No
first time an expansion club
way.
has ever done that.
No way. Seattle did it, but wait, did
No,
they?
nope. They've never been 4-0. They never. They didn't. A team has never started 4-0 in MLS. Oh,
Whoa,
sorry.
expansion
An
team.
expansion team has
Expansion.
never started 4-0. Not even Atlanta did that. But St. Louis at the top with 12 points, no ties, no losses, 100% wins. Then we have LAFC. Keep in mind both LA teams have a game in hand because of their first game being called off. They play that game on the 4th of July. So both LA teams are going to be kind of wonky in the standings. But LAFC in second with 7 points. Seattle, Dallas, and Minnesota in that order, all with 7 points. And we have Austin, who kind of fell off. They're in 6th, up with San Jose. San Jose doing surprisingly well. They are 2-2. That's not bad for San Jose. They have a problem with like giving up leads though. They do that a lot. Then we have RSL in 8th with 3 points. Houston with 3 points. They won one game. They went from last to 9th after winning one game. Then we have Portland in 10th, Vancouver in 11th, LA Galaxy only with 2 points along with Kansas City. And then bringing up the rear in the mud is Colorado with a singular point. They are 0-3-1 with a -6 goal difference.
A team we won't play this year, Colorado, and a team we haven't played ever.
What
Sporting Kansas
what
City
Western
either.
team are we playing? We're playing St.
Sporting
Louis.
Kansas City.
And are we playing
We've
St.
never,
Louis?
we've never, and LAFC as well. We've never played Sporting Kansas City ever either, and we've never played Vancouver, sitting in the mud over there. That's actually kind of bad for us. We should be playing teams like that. They're not doing too well.
Yeah,
Uh,
like I was saying, the West is weird because half the teams are like
RSL. We
yeah,
haven't played RSL.
half
yet.
the teams are like really good and the other half are like absolute dog shit.
It's like 4 teams we haven't played. It's crazy.
Mhm.
See, St. Louis, that's incredible, dude.
That's crazy.
That's
But keep in mind,
Listen. Okay, go ahead.
keep in mind, they played a whole season before this. People forget about that. They played in
In
MLS.
MLS Next Pro.
Yeah, they played a whole season in MLS Next Pro. Like people need to. I understand this is great. This is like a cool accomplishment they're doing, but keep that in mind. They're just coming out of nowhere and like how we started. We already had a bad spot, and then the pandemic happened. And then we had to do through all that shit. They got to play a whole season, got to kind of figure out the shit, and now they're playing amazingly. And that preseason season really helped them.
Let me add to your point, and then I'm gonna bring up the other point that I was gonna say. before the show started, you were mentioning Jacksonville Armada's U23 playing against Miami United
Mm-hmm.
in the Open Cup, and I brought up to you that whole era where Vice City, we were supporting Miami United. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So that, and you came into the picture around that time,
Mm-hmm.
and it was actually really cool because as Vice City, we were around for maybe 2 or 3 seasons before that first 2020 season that got cut like kind of short, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've been around for so long. And then those 2 or 3 seasons, what we mostly wanted was for Inter Miami to put up a fucking U23 for all you wanted, right? For us to go to the games and go and have fun. Like we didn't care who we were watching. We just wanted to watch live soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And to build that unity, to build that team. Inter Miami kind of just was all over the place in that sense, man. Like I never understood why they couldn't rent out Tropical Park or something and start like
Mm-hmm.
a fucking even a youth academy like prematurely, which they did, and we did come up to the youth academy games
Yeah.
and along those lines, and look at the benefits it's doing St. Louis. You wear the 2020 jersey as a joke, but it's still affecting us to this day.
Mm-hmm.
It's a constant change in the roster. The last year's change was the biggest change I've ever seen in sports,
Yeah,
ever.
19 players just gone.
It was insane, and this year was a lot of them too. And hats off to St. Louis because my second point and LAFC, even if they had the other game in hand, they have 10 points. They'd still be in second. So St. Louis is just absolutely wrecking MLS right now.
Mm-hmm.
In their first season, absolutely insane. Hats off to them. LAFC somehow with a match in hand in second place. Shout out to them. Seattle's doing pretty good this year. FC Dallas got a nice little USM MNT roster over there. They're pretty dope.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, I never
Minnesota,
thought
you
about that.
mentioned.
Yeah, that's true. They do have that.
Yeah, Minnesota, pretty strong start to them. Hats off to them. Austin, um, you're talking, you're saying they're in the mud or whatever. I don't know. You mentioned
They
something
weren't
about
playing.
that, but
Well, I mean, they started off all right, and then you saw what happened when they lost to the Haitian team, and it seems to kind of like shaking their confidence a
better
bit.
go down. Yeah, that happens. That happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's
you
like
better come to play.
everybody's got a punch to get punched in the mouth.
Yep. And then, honestly, ever since the Haitian team did that to Austin, I've kind of been like, sucks to suck, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to what was the name of the team?
Violette.
Violeta. I hate calling them the Haitian team. Violeta. Shout out to Violeta, man. That's fire. That's fire. So now that we've finished going around the MLS, we can go straight into our next opponent, which is last place Chicago. Are they last place in the league? Let me check. 2 points. What's the points in the
In
Western?
the
One
whole
point. No, no, no.
league.
No, they're not last in the league. They're last in the Eastern Conference, but not last in the league. Because Colorado's got
Uh,
1 point. Colorado's got 1 point, and Sporting Kansas City
yeah.
has one
See, look,
point.
all the Western teams are at the bottom. See exactly
Yeah,
what I'm talking about.
Vancouver, LA Galaxy has two. Sporting Kansas City has two. So hey, Chicago's gonna be coming after a win. I was telling you, they're gonna come. They're gonna come hungry, and we better not get caught with our sights on whoever the next opponent is. I'll check who that is now, but I do have the confidence that we're gonna take this game.
I think we can definitely win this game. It's just we have to. We need Martinez to step it up. If Martinez scores a couple goals, I just realized it's a World Baseball Classic Cup. Nice.
Yeah, it is.
um, we need Martinez to score. If he doesn't score, then I don't know what we're gonna be doing. I just don't know.
Yeah. Without Gregor there, without the defensive presence, get ready to give up a goal or two every game. Hopefully not off set pieces. That kind of sucks because it's not even like it's affecting us as a run and play. It didn't even affect us. It did affect us in the run and play, but the goals didn't come in that way, right? The goals did come off of set pieces. That comes due to lack of organization, lack of marking. It is something that the team need to work on. But if they could get their ducks in a row, I think Chicago is a good place to start. I think Cincinnati is away next. Another cold game probably. Yep, at TQL.
Mm-hmm.
Breck Shea is daddy at that stadium. Inter Miami did win, I think, a game in that stadium
And we scored the
during
first
the.
goal in that stadium too.
Yeah, Breck Shea did. Yeah. So we 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 have lost our last 2 games, but it's one game at a time. Pick it up against Chicago, then you got a chance against Cincinnati, who's in third right now. So why not go for it, man? Why not have Joseph Martinez ball now? We talked about it. This might be it for Joseph after this. For you, I think they'll go into Cincinnati even if he doesn't do so good. But I think he balls. I think he balls against Chicago. I think he gets 2 goals. I think we get another goal from Pizarro. and it's gonna be 3-1,
I
three
could
one,
see a 3-1.
and I can see us going down 1-0 and scoring three after. I can see that happening too,
How
because
about
it's Inter
this?
Miami.
Pizarro's goal being a penalty.
He
I
wouldn't shoot the penalty. He wouldn't shoot the penalty.
don't see why not.
How about no, yeah, Joseph? How about one of Joseph's being a PK? How about that?
Okay, I'll I'll
One
I'll,
of
I'll
Joseph's
take
being a
that.
PK.
I
One of
just don't I
Joseph's
just
being a
don't really
PK.
see. I don't know. I just don't see Pizarro scoring in a run of play because I don't think they've been using him like that. He's been more of
I think he'll get a tap in. I think he'll get a tap
yeah, because he plays more in that central kind of leftish side,
in. I
and
think
he
he'll get
kind
a
of
hustle goal.
yeah, and he like kind of cleans up the messes kind of.
Yeah.
So that's the way he's been playing. He's been playing pretty well. He's just not like a scoring threat. He's more of a transitional player to get, which he should be getting. I feel like I find it weird that him and Joseph aren't linking up more.
And that's why I see them both scoring this game. And you know what? We talked about the World Baseball Classic. Maybe Team Mexico inspired him. Arosarena inspired him a little bit. He gets that hustle, and you know Arosarena stole a home run. Maybe he can steal a goal, right? He can get in there and score one, tap one in off a hustle play, off a rebound. And Joseph, maybe he's inspired by Team Venezuela, bro. Maybe he's got that hunger in him.
I
He's a
hope
little
so.
mad that I'm wearing this hat a little bit. Cold
Wait.
Soul
Oh wait. Hold on. Martinez isn't playing for us this weekend.
oh, he's not. Yeah, yeah. What's going on there?
It's international break. I forgot. Yeah.
Oh, so he's playing for Venezuela.
Yeah. It's him. Robert Taylor.
Oh,
Robert Taylor literally Finland played today. He was on the bench. So yeah, he's not gonna be available for us.
so no wonder Lucho was asking. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
hey, Akeem, you left me misinformed. No,
Yeah,
my
I
bad.
completely forgot
No,
about
my
that.
bad.
Yeah,
We're both.
he's not gonna be available for us. He's him, Taylor. I forget who else got a call up. I think that's it. But yeah, they're gonna him and Taylor aren't gonna be available.
Yo, we're gonna play back that Akeem.
For real. But yeah,
Oh
they're not
yeah.
gonna be available. I just remembered that.
Okay, okay. So no Joseph, no Taylor. Yeah, bro, get Coco in that bit. Let's see
Yeah,
Coco score a few. I'll say Coco scores two and Pizarro scores one.
I'm changing mine back
And
to
the
a Pizarro
PK
penalty.
Pizarro penalty. I'll say
Yeah,
Coco shoots it. I'll say Coco shoots it. I ain't taking it back. Coco's that dog, bro. Coco's got that dog in him.
true.
Boy, Coco, he sound like a dog name, bro.
For real.
Coco,
But yeah,
look here,
let me see
Coco.
how this game went. For Finland, let me see how they played. I think they played Norway. Yeah, they.
That's badass.
Oh no, they
Finland
played.
versus Norway.
They played
It's
Denmark.
like a
They
battle of death metal, dude.
they,
Denmark even better.
they lost 3-1 to Denmark.
That's the death metal bowl.
Oh God, Denmark scored a hat trick. Interesting. And they have a Finland has a player named Ant Man. I'm not joking.
Antman.
Yeah, ANTMAN.
Antman.
Ant Man.
Antman. Antman.
So yeah,
Ant-Man.
I'm not even gonna try and pronounce it because it's very Danish. But this guy scored 3 goals, 21st, 82nd, and
It's very
93rd
Danish.
minute.
He said very Danish.
I'm not. I'm telling. It doesn't even use English letters, so I'm not even gonna butcher it and try and pronounce it. But yeah, they lost 3-1. So, I mean, I'm glad we used, and he didn't even play, so I'm glad he was used for that. Um,
I saw you post a jersey.
yeah,
Weird.
yeah, because you can buy a Robert
That's-
Taylor jersey.
But let's not even play him.
I mean, it was like 130 euros or some shit like that for like an authentic with his name on it.
It's Euro qualifiers, right?
It's like Nations League, yeah. Let me see what it is.
No, I think it's qualifiers. I think it's qualifiers. For
Yeah.
Euros.
Yeah.
Euro Cup
Yep.
qualifiers.
Yep. You're right. Euro qualifiers. Yep.
Euro Cup. I saw the ad during the WBC.
Yeah.
I'm on a bunch.
So and we have CONCACAF Nations League too, because there's some like small islands playing.
Okay, so speaking of Nations League, actually just to kind of crescendo out of the show, final soccer point, kind of blended with baseball, whatever. But I'm having the USA time of my life, bro. I'm coming off the WBC, which I got to enjoy with my dad. I got to see Puerto Rico versus USA in '09 with him, which was awesome. I don't think we won that game. I looked it up the other day, but just having the memory of wearing this hat with him is really special to me, and watching this team do what they did was really special. And Japan coming out champion, hats off to them. They're a great team, and the experience was like no other, man. I honestly I'm super proud of this country, the run they did, and coming up, bro. I'm getting on Monday. I'm actually gonna be in Orlando for the Nations League game, and there's rumors. Have you seen that Balogun is gonna play for us?
He's in Orlando.
That would be. He's in Orlando right now. He's gonna play for us.
Yeah, he's in
I'm gonna
Orlando.
be at that game. I'm gonna be there for his premiere, dude. Like I can't believe this. And this is a game changer for you guys that aren't like aware. This is a guy who could have played for England. They're not showing him respect, and he's going out and playing for us, and it's
He's a
gonna
dual national,
be
so fuck it.
but it's a game changer. It's like that's the level of player. Like this is a guy that could have played for England. Like they showed him some level of disrespect, I guess, and he just wants to play now. And he's a special talent, and we don't come across special talents like this
Yeah,
often,
fuck
dude.
it.
We don't. And if he's in and he's playing in this game, oh my god, he's gonna score again. Who is it? El Salvador, I think he's got to score, dude.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
was
god.
seeing like there's literally photos of him in Orlando right now.
Mhm. He's training like at the same facility as the U.S. MNT right now and
He
everything.
there was a picture of him
And he's
wearing a
supposedly
jersey.
on, and he's supposedly of our jersey on. There's a picture.
Not like at
Check it
training. He
out.
was just out and about, and he happened to be wearing a USA jersey.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw this. I think it's the trainer one.
Yeah, one of the training
Oh
jerseys. He just
man.
happened to be wearing it, but like,
Oh, I don't think he's happening to be wearing that. Oh my god, this is insane. Oh my god. Whatever. Enough fanboying. I'm excited for this game. Barra 76 presente. I know it's hard for a lot of people to make on a Monday, but I got the day off. I have a really hard face asking for that Monday off the day we come back from the spring break, but
oh jeez,
I'm excited. It's a personal day. I'm allowed to actually.
true,
Personal days, I'm allowed to do shit like this.
of course.
I have them left, and that's what they're for. And I'd like to save them up a little bit, but this is a personal thing for me. So if my school is watching, thank you guys for allowing me to take this personal day. I'm gonna be really excited to go to this game, especially if Balogun plays. That should be crazy.
That would be great.
But
Do you think he'll actually play? Because nothing's been announced. When is the game on Monday?
Monday, yeah.
I find it weird that nothing's been announced, even though he's there. Like, no
I'm surprised
roster or nothing.
I wouldn't be surprised if he plays like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. That'd be dope. I mean, I'll take that.
Because if I look up USMNT, I think didn't they already announce their official roster? Don't they have to do it like ahead of time?
I think so, but I don't know. Be
Let
nice.
me look up their Twitter because I'm pretty sure they have to announce our roster like days ahead of time, like an official like full team roster.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. Actually, no. Somebody.
I'm looking right
I
now.
think Matt Doyle. Look at Matt Doyle's Twitter. Look at Matt Doyle's Twitter. He mentioned something about a roster. Look at Matt Doyle. He tweeted about it recently on his Twitter.
Okay.
But
But that's good.
Like-
If he can play, if he's eligible, then screw it.
yeah, fuck it. But either it's a future play. Whatever. If he plays this weekend, I mean on Monday, whatever. If he doesn't, it's more for what this team could be in 2026, which is what we're after. And there's not a lot of opportunities to see the USMNT play, especially a roster like this until 2026. Maybe Copa America will be the next chance, which is what 2024 or 25.
I don't remember
I can't remember. Or is it 23? Am I actually? No. We're
because
in
Copa
23.
America is every 3 years,
2, 3 years.
2 3 years, something like that.
They had the Centenario one back to back. I remember that.
Yeah.
What's the two that Chile won? But yeah, dude. This is a good sign for Copa America, for the World Cup, for future of the growth of soccer in this country, because that's a very special talent. It's a very special talent coming over here. But yeah, we'll look it up on Twitter. We'll let you guys know next podcast. You'll find out about that. I'll talk to you guys about the experience. But as always, thank you for joining us and have a good one.
Good luck and have fun.